But should it happen, from where I sit, and this is strictly opinion, I think if it's possible that particularly the Senate might become even more dysfunctional than it is now. I don't expect it to happen. I think this is a threat that they're laying out and saying, listen, to the Republican Party, if you continue to do what you're doing, we're going to have to make some drastic, maybe even cataclysmic changes.
In terms of the filibuster, filibuster being one of those things, but not all of them, I know.
But let me say that I'm back from a trip to California, from other places in the country. The country is angry. This is as angry as I've seen the country. Republicans, Democrats, independents, mugwumps, whatever they are. They're really angry. A lot of it springs from the recession, almost depression that we went through, and a sense that we're not all the way through it yet. And that anger is going to be interesting to see how it cuts in the November elections. Very, very interesting.
Let me ask you about one last question on a totally different subject. I know that you are heading back to Iraq next week. We should note that today is, I guess one way to put it is day one of year 8 in Iraq. We invaded 7 years ago today. It's impossible to believe it was 7 years ago. I know you have a special premiering on HDNet on Tuesday about Iraq. What should we expect there?
Well, we went to see whether the drawdown was beginning, and indeed it is. What you're going to see in our program Tuesday, and I think you'll hear more about, we're beginning to draw down. You know, the president has said by August we're going to go from 96,000 troops to 50,000 troops. And this is a logistical nightmare of sorts. All of this equipment, all the old Humvees, all the motorized vehicles, all of the equipment, it's already beginning to move out of some of the bases. And we profiled one base there, I think 250 U.S. bases in Iraq now. But with some of the bases, they're already moving the stuff to Kuwait, the equipment to Kuwait, which this is a logistical operation that would dwindle anything in history. Hannibal over the Alps, Alexander going deep into Southeast Asia, it dwarfs it. And it says a lot about our military, that they are able to do this kind of operation. But it's beginning. We've talked for these many years. When are we going to draw down? When are we going to pull out? Well, the pullout has begun, for better or for worse. And by August, there's every indication they'll have the equipment, most of the equipment out. They'll have most of the troops out. Some of them, unfortunately, will be reassigned to Afghanistan. But with Iraq, for large intents and purposes, come August, as things are now appointed, we're out of there.
Fascinating stuff. Dan Rather, the host and managing editor of Dan Rather Reports on HDNet. The new special premieres on HDNet this Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Mr. Rather, as always, it is such an honor to have you here. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you,
it's
Rachel.
great to see you.
I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thanks a lot.